to lay some foundation, could we go to the Shemitah?
Oh, yes.
The Rabbi Jonathan brought us into that word. We'd never heard that word before.
Okay. Well, God said that just like they were to rest on the seventh day, on the seventh year, the land was to rest, and they weren't to plow the land of Israel. And so God said he would bless them by giving them 3 years of harvest in 1 year. On the sixth year, they got a triple-fold blessing, so they wouldn't feel obligated to keep that Shemitah year, the seventh year of rest. But what happened, if you remember, in the Babylonian captivity, they were in Babylon for 70 years, and the reason for that is 70 times 7 is 490. They had not kept the Shemitah year for 490 years. And so that meant the land was supposed to have rest a total of 70 years now. So God took them out of the land so the land could get the rest that God said that it needed. Well, what's so significant about that is at the time of Nebuchadnezzar, what had happened was Nebuchadnezzar was coming to fight Jerusalem, and Egypt came to Israel's help. And so Nebuchadnezzar had left. Once Egypt left, Israel felt like it was Egypt who saved the day, not God. So they turned around, and after they had set all the captives free, it was the seventh year of release, all the captives had to be set free, those that were slaves were set free. They put everyone back in bondage again. And so God said, therefore, this Shemitah year is going to be a year of judgment. You're going to be set at liberty, but it's liberty to the war and famine and the plague and all these things. So the Shemitah year became known as a year of judgment. That's very important to understand. Now, with that in mind, how many of you remember in 1994 when the Shoemaker-Levy comet pummeled Jupiter with 21 fragments? Any of you remember that?
Oh, absolutely.
You can go on the internet, Google Shoemaker-Levy comet, and it will tell you how it was in July of 1994 that 21 fragments hit Jupiter. Well, now remember, the Shemitah year is a year of judgment. Well, guess what? That happened in a Shemitah year. Now, guess what weekend it was?
What?
The 9th of Av. That was the weekend that the 21 fragments hit it. Now, guess what the Torah portion that all the Jews read that weekend was? Okay.
What?
It was.
This is exciting. I don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me.
It was Deuteronomy 1 through 6, which is the greatest commandment to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. But in Hebrew, they don't say Deuteronomy. It's Devarim, which means these are the words. And so here God is speaking, these are my words. And this Jupiter is being pummeled by these 21 fragments. Well, it's a Shemitah year. Well, what's 21 divided by 3? 7. So God was saying the next 3 Shemitah years would be times of judgment.
In 7 Shemitah.
And the
7 years.
7 years. So 1994, you add 7 years, that takes you to 2001, which was the next Shemitah year. Well, guess what happened on Rosh Hashanah that year? Elul 29, Rosh Hashanah. The Dow fell exactly 7% at the beginning of the 7th month, and it was the largest drop of the Dow in history to that time.
9/11 took place then.
I was exactly 7 days before. This is 9/11. This is 9/17. So exactly 7 days before this is 9/11.
The probably worst tragedy to hit America.
God is warning. God was sending a warning during the Shemitah year.
So we have 7 years. So then what would happen in the next 7 years, Shemitah years?
That's 2008. And what happened exactly on Elul 29, Rosh Hashanah? We had the biggest drop. Same day on the biblical calendar. See, on our calendar, it was a different day. But we don't make the connection because we're not on the right calendar.
Right.
It was on Elul 29, Rosh Hashanah.
It's like trying to get somewhere in the wrong map.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what it is. And what happens? You can look on the internet. The Dow fell 7%, a $700 billion loss on the failed $700 billion bailout on the first day of the 7th month of the biblical calendar.
The day before Rosh Hashanah again.
Yes.
You said that there was going to be 3 Shemitah years of judgment.
Right.
So that was the first 2.
Yeah. So this next one is 2015. The same day there's a solar eclipse. This could be the 3rd strike. It could be potentially the coming global economic collapse. It happened in 2001. It happened in 2008. Not only could you potentially...
coming at some time.
When you look at just read the news. In the next 2 years, we're talking about all kinds of financial calamity.
Is this the eve of Rosh Hashanah again?
Yes. Yes, that will be. Yes.